Welcome back, and we're looking at the Naira and its appreciation further against the dollar in the last couple of days or so. So encouraging that we're talking about it. It's come from the horrible, almost unimaginable figure of around 1,800, nudging towards 1,900, to now anywhere between 1,200 and 1,400. And our guest is the economist Kayode Oyedeji. Mr. George Inikeja called in. Are you still with us?
Yes, Uncle Eric.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
And good morning to your guest, too.
Yes.
Good morning, George.
Uncle Eric, I said everything is beginning to look as if this is the first time Nigeria is having a president. I noticed that those children from broken homes on social media who are abusing people every day have suddenly gone mute. When things are improving, you don't hear people. It is when it is going bad.
Yes.
It's bad news they want to...
Bad news really travels.
They thought Naira will go to 5,000. But when it is going the other way around, they get disappointed. I wonder what kind of people we have in this, our country. I would want to urge the president and his team to remain undaunted and just move on. The governor of CBN, in my view, should still pounce on the bank CEOs. They are watching. They are looking for an opportunity to see twice it and make something out of it. I don't think with all the damage they've done to our forex administration in the past, we should just overlook things and let them remain there. Many of them are not supposed to be there again. That is one recommendation I want to give to Mr. Cardoso.
Okay.
Once beaten, they say you are twice shy. So, but for the thing, I really commend them, and everything that the president is doing is vindicating me. I have a brother who was mocking me that why am I supporting this person? And I said, you don't know what I know. Just give President Tinubu 2 years. And I'm repeating it on air. By the time he's 2 years in office, let's come back together and assess him. But I'm happy the way things are moving. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, and thank you very much. Also, thank you for your persistence on that particular call. George had so much faith, he didn't let go of it since that first time. It's not as if he called and came back in again. He just stuck with it. He said, look, I have this strong connection. Let me wait. And, you were finally able to say your piece. And he's reiterating what we said, that Tinubu had said that it's not going to be business as usual, and there will be. There were the naysayers, but would you like to comment on the point that he made that, look, this will not be pleasing to all. Not everybody is going to be happy at these improvements. Marginally moderate for the moment, but still.
I think we are getting back into the era which we had, the situation which we had between 2003 and 2007, when we had double-digit growth in the economy. I think at the point we had 14% growth, which was one of the highest in the world. I think we will eventually get to that point to be able to sustain the reforms within the economy, cut down the cost of running government, bring in more efficiency and discipline into the regulatory system across board, not just in CBN, making sure there is efficiency within the economy. And one focus of the president is to make sure that the private sector is the engine room of growth for the economy. Is beginning to bring that back. I've stated, even in this studio many times, Eco Atlantic was not built with government money. The same philosophy can be deployed to solve out most of our infrastructural needs. And I'm happy that the coastal highway from Lagos to Calabar is beginning to take shape. That's going to be a model for the government to deploy to address most of the road infrastructure issues that we have in Nigeria. So if you look at the philosophy of this government is about wealth creation. This government is going to create a lot of wealth. So individuals must begin to position themselves, corporations, individuals. Yesterday, the CBN came up with banking consultation. They are trying to aggregate much more money in the banking system so that they can lend back to the economy. They can give people, the economy can be credit-driven. That's a big plus.
It looks like for the first time, people who understand anything about it at all appear to, have the reins now, unlike the way we were carrying on before.
Oh, the way he started government, his administration, the first thing he did was to remove first subsidy. People are yet to recover from that shock. It was unexpected. And people thought, oh, he has made a big mistake. But in actual fact, he took a very difficult decision at the right time. If he had waited, he would have started consultation with the labor, consultation with the private sector, the organized private sector. It would have been a very clumsy thing, and he would not have been able to achieve what he achieved at the end of the day.
Now.
But he understands the dynamics of governance very well. And he knows key decisions he must take. He has taken those decisions. Those decisions are not one that will immediately put smiles on the faces of the people. But those decisions still have consequences. If he's able to manage those consequences very well, then we are on a path to what Singapore achieved in the 50s and the 60s.
Indeed.
Provided he's able to get the governors in particular to buy into his philosophy, into his ideas, into his determination to bring about change in the economy. You see, Nigeria runs a federalism that is complicated. People don't know, for instance, that almost half of proceeds of oil subsidy removal will go to their governors. So when you go to outside Lagos, for instance, everybody is blaming Tinubu in Osun State, but they've not been able to ask themselves in Osun State or in Ogun State or in Akwa Ibom, what is your governor doing his own portion of the money?
Increased revenue.
If you're earning 2 billion naira in Osun State, for instance, in about 2 years ago, Osun is almost 8 billion naira per month.
And where is that money
Where is that money going to? What are the projects?
More importantly, where is it going to?
Where is the money going to? If your governor is always abroad, what does he have brought back home? Why is it wasting foreign exchange? Why is it wasting the state resources? So the problem is actually going to be because of the nature of our federalism. It's complicated. Half of those proceeds will go to state and local governments. And don't be surprised if some local government chairmen begin to spend the money the way they like. There must be some understanding between the federal government, the state, and the local government on specifics that this money would be spent on. The education, have peer review structure that will compel them to put those monies there. Don't just assume they will. There was a time in this country that we had first lady at the local government level. And interestingly, they bought vehicles for those first ladies. They did all kinds of stuff. Privileges that even mayor of London that has a budget almost as big as Nigeria doesn't enjoy.
That they don't enjoy.
So these are the things we need to do. What are you going to do? We had SAP in this country. And SAP would have been a success. Unfortunately, the proceeds of SAP was diverted to
the structural adjustment program.
Diverted to buying big cars for the president, hosting one African Union or whatever. And at the end of the day, nothing got to the people. We must avoid that calamity this time.
Okay. Do we have another caller? I don't know what's happening. Apparently, there is a caller on the line. I don't know what the systems are about today, but there is a caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning to your guest in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
So,
Garuba.
President,
okay.
Garuba, yes.
Yes, from Benue
First
State.
of all, I wish the president happy birthday, yes. I wish him happy birthday. I wish him more health, more life.
Yes.
God should give him the wisdom to run this country well.
As you know, the president has said that he wants it extremely low key, so much so that even if it wasn't mentioned, he has no problem. But thank you very much.
Yes, Uncle Yori. Okay. So secondly, Uncle Yori, if today government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu succeeds, it's not him that succeeds, it's Nigeria that succeeds. Honestly, we should know that. If today the government succeeded, it's not the government that succeeded, it's Nigeria generally. Let's appreciate this effort that he made. Honestly, I'm glad, I'm happy. As the dollar is, Naira is getting towards dollar. Then I'm calling on our business people, businessmen and women, to be sincere, to be honest in whatever they are doing. Now the dollar is crashing, but the price of our commodity is not crashing. Why? When we go to market, they will tell us the dollar is like that, but now they're not saying dollar already crashed. Why? Let's answer ourselves this question. It's not the fault of the government now. It's because of our businessmen and women. Then lastly, I'm holding on the government. A program of social safety net that is planned, please, as a matter of urgency, as a matter of national importance, wallahi, if you release this to society, things will change. All this crying, prices of things will go down. As the plan that you're making for nano business, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, let him release it. Then, wallahi, if you release that money, all these things will die down.
Indeed.
You see how our economy will change.
Yeah. Yeah.
You give us 50,000. What do you expect tomorrow? A vulcanizer that is by the roadside, you give him 50,000. What do you expect tomorrow? Someone that is selling pure water, you give him 50,000. What do you expect tomorrow? That's how the economy will boost. Nigerians are minimalists. We don't need recruits from the government. Honestly, too, we can. I'm also a doctor in starting with that responsibility. So, as a matter of fortune, let us listen and see. Have a nice day over there.
Thank you very much, Garuba. Thank you, Garuba, for calling in. Appreciate your call. I don't know if it's the same Garuba. I don't know. I don't think there was another Garuba calling in from Makurdi. So I think we lost that one, but we thank you too. And also we're sorry that we lost the first Garuba that called in. You know, yeah, he's going back to the point you made. And also, the other very important thing, the way our people regard what is going on. The very first decision of Tinubu was removing fuel subsidy. It was a very difficult one. It shocked a lot of people. They thought a mistake had been made. But you also made the very important point that now states that were receiving X are now receiving X times 2 or 3 or 4. You cited the example of Osun State, where it was, you know, up to 4 times as much. Now, but the people, I don't think, are aware of this benefit of what happened. And so I'm not asking their leaders, so where are those projects, as you said, that have been earmarked and that are, and we can see, so that if everybody was doing what you were saying, then we would know that, okay, price of fuel has gone up because subsidy has been removed, but I'm surprised that roads have reached areas in my state that they never reached before, that schools are springing up all over the place, but maybe people need to question their leaders, their governors, and all of those, and then cut out these wastages. I don't know. It's
important. You see what the governor of Niger State is doing. Agriculture is planning to cultivate about 2 million hectares of land this year. Any governor that is not doing that is an economic saboteur. And people must be able to ask their governors, where are the investments that will create jobs? Where are the investments that will make life more meaningful for the people? The reality is, any governor that is not investing in infrastructure and agriculture at this time is
not doing something right.
Working against the people.
Indeed.
Is on a sabotage mission. And people should be able to hold their governors accountable.
I don't think any governor would want to sabotage his people. Maybe they don't know enough.
They don't know the implication of some of the things they are doing.
Yes.
This is the truth.
Sorry, sir. Let me know. Mazi Okorafo is on the line. Let us not lose him. Good morning, Mazi Okorafo.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, my brother in the studio.
Good morning.
Well, thank God that today is Good Friday. We give God the glory. Sayuri, I guess in see what we face in Nigeria today is that in Nigeria today, what do? We export religion and we import raw materials. Have you seen the process? And today now, we have to work at this to make sure that what we are having in Nigeria, we make use of it. If you go to Zimbabwe, 80% of what they are doing now, most of they are using all this foreign currency does not help the economy. Now, to come to Nigeria, exactly, all these projects you see in Nigeria today, maybe all those people who bring all this in, they would like you to pay them based on the hard currency, which is not good for our own economy. Look at the machinery we're talking. The government said they will waive this, they will waive this. At the end of the day, what are we seeing? The people inside the authority who are in charge of all these things, they don't follow the system, what the government has said. So we are good in all these policies again. But we have to be very careful. All these regulators that we have in Nigeria, all these currencies, all these stuff, the banks are there. The financial, the apex currency is there. But all these regulators are around, without the retina, there are people making all these things very, very difficult for businessmen. Now tell me, if one is going to the bank now, you want to get something maybe outside Nigeria, you see that like what one of the man was talking about last time in one of the programs that we were covering here. He said that here in Nigeria, everything moves. But what is happening at that? the type of currency or the type of rate they give those manufacturers from Nigeria is different from what they give all those from outside. Possibly so. Everything should be in equilibrium. Everything should balance so that the economy will move forward. But when we say that now, we continue depending on foreign, leaving our own. That is why we see all this. How would Nigeria, tomorrow they will say that Naira is 1,600, 1,000, let us have what is just a balance rate that will balance so that all these contractors, all these importers, they will balance well.
All right,
if
then.
all these things are affected,
Okay,
we also have
all right.
so pass all the.
All right, Mazi. Thank you very much, Mazi, for calling in. Indeed, everybody's applauding the fact that things are looking up. We're not where we need to be, as you've emphasized. In other words, there's much room for improvement, but at least we're pointed in the correct direction now, and it can only get better. You also had said that we have to now make business, make things easy for business, so that we can enhance our production. All of that will factor in. And also maybe some sort of an orientation for Nigerians who, they like everything foreign, they like everything. I'm a Nigerian as well. So this is the point. We've got to, that will be our own bit in terms of our shoulder to the wheel if we begin to look for Nigerian alternatives. Now, the banks, there's this amusing digital sign that you see in all banks, little digital box with scrolling the UK pound, Kinikon yen, Kinikon dollar, buying this much, selling. So it's a visual joke. Banks in Nigeria like that visual joke because if you now point at that sign and say, now that you're talking about it, I would like some pound sterling, please. Maybe the one that will even answer you will tell you to meet XYZ outside in front there. Just meet him outside in front here. But I have money in my account now, my domiciliary account. So is that going to change anytime soon? That joke, that banking joke that banks across Nigeria insist on cracking.
Those things used to be correct.
Yes, but they used to be correct and indicative
9 years,
of what can be done.
You have your visa, you go there, you check what they have on the board, you present your passport, you ask for your dollar or thereabout, they give you even more than you want. We are getting back into that era.
Okay.
And with what CBN is doing now, we will be able to get back there. CBN is keen about one thing, which is fantastic. CBN is keen to fund all regulated channels. CBN doesn't want you to go to black market under any circumstance. So they're even funding the borrow the change. They offered them $20,000 at the point. They couldn't even take as much as that. Okay. So CBN is trying to say every regulated channel, for the purpose of planning, for the purpose of running an efficient system, every transaction should go there. And I think in years to come, we'll see a situation whereby even our brothers and sisters abroad will not be willing to do black market operations.
Okay, there's one of them.
They're almost getting there. Presently, nobody will do that.
There's one of them on the phone. Atune is in the UK and is called in. Good morning, Atune.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I appreciate you coming on the show. I just wanted to add that we have to be careful about just assuming that things are looking in the right direction because the real problem is instability. When things are unstable, business cannot plan. And the depreciation of the currency really need to happen. And you can take it for an example. If you are an individual, you have $100 and you have 1,000 Naira. If that $100 you have to make your own arrangements so that you can be able to spend only that $1,000. But what Nigeria is doing is that we don't have $1,000, but we have need for about, we don't have $100. We have need for about $1,000. And the Nigerian government is not discouraging people from using the dollars. It's just last week they started doing it. You remember, the spokesman of the government came out and said Nigerians should start buying Nigerian-made goods. In other words, use Naira. Guess what happened? The currency started appreciating. That is something they should have done a long time ago. They should have known that. But they didn't do that. I've been talking about it for a very long time. That how can you not have enough currency, foreign currency? And your people keep creating foreign currency. Even in the House of Assembly was giving people $1,000. How is it that you are doing that? The Nigerian government is selling its own aircraft in dollars.
Yeah.
You are supposed to encourage people to use Nigerian currency so that you can stimulate the local economy and discourage the use of dollars.
Yeah.
And anything that is being imported that is not leading to the growth of the economy, you put higher tariffs on it. That is how you control this type of situation. But they are not doing it. They allow every flow of the Nigerian craving for the dollar, even when producing, is not helping to stimulate our own economy.
Okay, Atune, thank you for calling in on that. Let me give our guest the time to react to that. Thank you very much for the point that you raised.
I think it's correct. Cautious optimism. And in economics, it's ceteris paribus, all things being equal. So the optimism we have now is based on the fact that government will be able to sustain the tempo. The CBN will be alive to its responsibilities. We'll be able to take advantage of improvement in rating of the sovereign rating of the country. There'll be foreign investment. The gains from IMPR and all the stuff will be harnessed properly. We have the most expensive, probably one of the most expensive risk-free assets in the world. Foreigners are interested. If you are buying TBs in Nigeria, you probably earn about 18% for 180 per annum on 180-day TB or thereabouts. They are very lucrative. We expect more and more foreign portfolio investment, and in the infrastructure, we expect more direct investment. So it's cautious optimism, subject to the fact that the CBN will be able to intensify efforts and consolidate on the progress they've made so far. And that on the fiscal side of it, the president is able to reduce the cost of government, make the anti-graft efforts to work, and there's productivity in agriculture, in infrastructure, and across all sectors of the economy.
Well, thank you very much, Kayode. That's a fine place to leave it. Our guest this morning has been the economist, Mr. Kayode Oyedeji. And we're going to have to leave it here. It's looking up. There is still, Kayode emphasized it. And, Atune just called in from the UK, underlining that same whole point. There's a lot of room for improvement, but we're generally on an optimistic scale. Thank you very much for watching. That's our program.